Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to a new knitting project vlog. This is an extra exciting one for me because in one of my latest videos, I knitted the majority of this asymmetric hem one-shouldered top. And I've now since completed it. I think this turned out okay, but there are a lot of modifications that I want to make, and I've got so much motivation to make a version 2 that I just want to cast it on right now, even though it's not the most seasonally appropriate knit. I'm actually refilming this part of the intro because the first time I filmed the intro, it was like 2 days after I'd come back from Sri Lanka, and I was being a bit whiny about being home, and I thought it wasn't really fair for me to make you listen to that because it's such an enormous privilege for me to have been able to go on holiday for such an extended amount of time in the first place. So now we're going to skip to me trying this top on in the past and me telling you everything that's wrong with version 1 and what I'm going to do differently this time. I really flip-flop between thinking it's actually really decent and hating it completely. So the features of this include this asymmetric hem at the bottom that is actually really prone to curling up, this ruching detail at the other side, which I really don't like, and it has one shoulder with an O-ring at the front. Things I like about this top. Number one, the yarn. I am 100% going to be frogging this because I think the yarn is beautiful. It feels nice. Like, I think in the bowl or on the swatch, the yarn was feeling pretty itchy. I've also realised that I've been saying the name of this yarn wrong until now. The yarn is Rico Fashion Cotton Métallisé DK. I love this. I think I've smashed this part. The top part, the one strap, the O-ring detail, I love it. I'm going to be keeping that exactly as is. So things that I don't like is basically everything else. I think this bottom hem is way too long. I actually think the top would look pretty nice if it didn't have any asymmetry going on at the bottom, but I also think it would look nice if there was just like a little bit of a point at the front. So I'm still going to continue on with the asymmetric hem, but I'm going to be increasing an awful lot faster so that it's just a completely different shape of triangle. I think I'm also going to move the point of this. Right now it's like right on the side, but I was Googling like asymmetric hem tops, and a lot of like the ones that, you know, like fast fashion or ready to wear brands sell, like the point is always in the front. It's not completely on the side, it's in the front a bit. So I'm going to be changing that up. Also with this hem, I created the triangle and then I cast on these stitches, so it's not a slope all the way up naturally. This slope is created by the ruching, but I hate the ruching. The ruching looks so janky. Like, I think it's just because this fabric is far too thick to actually look good ruched. Maybe if this was a fingering weight yarn it would look better, but yeah, this is a DK so it doesn't work. So instead of relying on ruching to create the slant going all the way up, I am going to be creating a triangle that goes like all the way up and joins at my waist. Then I actually think I got the fit of the body fairly accurate. Like, I think I'm still going to be using roughly the same amount of ease for the waist, which was like 0 to +1 inches of ease, and then up to the top it's like negative, I don't even know, I didn't think I even measured it, like -8 inches or 6 inches or something. But fit wise, what I really need to do, which was actually a suggestion from my knitting friend Leah, Kiss Kiss Rhinestones, is put in some bust shaping because it's pulling too tightly around the bust and I can't solve it with increases or decreases because it needs to be getting tighter as it gets up to the armpit. So bust shaping is going to happen. I think that's it. I think that's everything that's wrong with this. I've been dissecting it so much in my head because this is like the first thing that I've made myself that's like actually ambitious, and I guess you're just always so much more critical of your own work. But that's the vision. This is the yarn that I'm going to use. I bought this in Poland and really unfortunately I looked online, I can't find it anywhere. I don't think it's available to buy even outside of Poland, and it's a shame because it's so beautiful. This is the Mayfair yarn by Interfox. This is 60% cotton, 40% viscose. It's colour number 4. It's a DK weight yarn as well, and it's just so shiny. Like, it looks properly silver. I think it's going to be really nice to work with. I actually feel bad using it because I know that I just can't get more even if I really wanted to, unless I like go to Poland. I bought this in Krakow in a haberdashery. I'll leave like a Google Maps pin in the description if you find yourself in Krakow. But they had some really nice other neutral colours. There was this purpley grey colour that I wish I'd bought as well because these are really affordable yarns. I think maybe like €3 or €4 a bowl or something. Right, I've been filming for 15 minutes with my fan heater off and I can't feel my toes, so I'm gonna come switch my fan heater on, and I'm probably gonna cast this on this evening because I've got some maths homework that's due. I'm 28 years old and I still have maths homework. Good morning! It's actually quite a few days later. I had to really lock in with my maths assignment, but I think it went really well. It is just so crazy to me how you can do the same master's degree at two different universities and just have two completely different experiences. My last attempt at studying was at Freie Universität Berlin, and it really dimmed my confidence with academia because I just felt so stupid all the time. I never understood anything, and like when I was doing an assignment there, like I would look at the lecture notes and the lecture notes wouldn't help me do my assignment. I ended up like trying to use ChatGPT to answer my assignments because I was just failing so miserably and didn't understand what was going on. And it's just amazing now with the Open University, the assignment that I did, I was just figuring out how to do it from the textbook and from the online lectures and from the course notes, and that's all I needed to do everything, which is like, that's how it should be. So it's really nice to have my ego fulfilled, my intelligence. I'm feeling a lot better about all of that. It's like healing my springtime Berlin University experience. It's like 10 a.m. now. I've been up since 6:30. I'm trying to hold on to like a little bit of the jet lag because I'm not a morning person, but I really like being a morning person. I have been working on my knitting for the past 4 hours or whatever, and I have redone this maybe 6 or 7 times total, but I think I've finally got there. So this is what my little start of my asymmetric hem is looking like. I had a lot of issues. Basically, I first had to figure out what rate to do my increases, and that took a bit of trial and error. Then I decided I wanted to add a selvage stitch, so that was another attempt. Then I realised that the type of increases I was doing was making the fabric bunch up, so that was another attempt. And then I realised that the type of selvage stitch I was doing was too tight. So now I've got the right type of selvage stitch, the right type of increases, and I think also the right rate of increases for this to be able to grow quickly without also like bunching up and like not being able to sit flat. That's where we are so far. This yarn is so soft. It's also a little bit splitty. I think here you can see it's just not very tightly wound, which is not ideal. It's also not the worst thing ever. I wouldn't want to do lace work with this type of yarn, but for stroking it, it's fine. I've also been writing down everything that I've been doing, and I just have so many pages of notes. I've never written down anything that I've done in knitting before, like row by row, and it's crazy because it's so similar to like a little bit of the stuff that I'm doing with my maths right now. It literally is just like an algorithm. Actually, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm studying at the moment because I'm finding it really interesting. And also every time I talk about being a mathematician and studying maths, I always get a few DMs from people saying that they really like hearing about it. So my module is called Coding Theory, which is very vague. I didn't really know what that meant when I started out because like you think coding and you think like, oh, am I gonna have to learn how to write JavaScript or Python or whatever? But it's all like completely manual, handwritten, old-fashioned maths. It's just that some of its applications can be used for computers. And it's all about codes themselves and sending and receiving codes with like error detection built into it. And one of the examples that's given like right at the start of the course that I found so interesting was ISBN numbers, which are like a number that appear next to the barcode in like every single book. It's a 10-digit number, and the ISBN number is actually a code, and the code has error detection and correction built into it. So for every ISBN code, if you take 1 times the first number, plus 2 times the second number, plus 3 times the third number, plus blah blah blah, plus 9 times the ninth number, and then you get the remainder when you divide this big number by 11, that is the 10th number. And if that's not true, then something's wrong with the ISBN code, and you can actually correct it if there's only one problem just by like solving that equation. It's so cool. The textbook then also goes on to talk about how this sort of like error detecting and correcting in codes is really important for stuff like photos sent from space, like from very far away where it takes like months to receive the photo. And it's just like a really cool, very niche thing to be learning about. I don't think that this is a course that I would have been offered if I'd gone to like a more traditional university. And it suits me so well because I am just doing this master's degree because I love learning about these sorts of things. And that's why I'm only doing one module at the moment as well, because I want to like fully enjoy the process and not worry about finishing this degree quickly. Okay, my camera cut me off. It's clearly telling me to stop talking about maths. But yeah, I know I've shared like a lot of my university journey and life journey over the past year, and it's been very non-linear, but just want you to know right now it's going really well. The same day. I'm gonna try and make my next update not from my bed, but so far we're not really managing it. But I'm in a really chatty mood and I want to tell you a little bit about like where my head's been at and some changes I want to make in my lifestyle and my mindset. But first, I've actually made a load of progress with my knitting today. I did like go back and restart like 2 more times since I showed you the last little swatch of a triangle I had. And the difference that I wanted to make was making the triangle asymmetrical, so one side now slopes up a lot faster than the other. I've now completed the triangle and joined in the round. I'm now doing some decreases, so I'm actually making like a decent amount of progress on this. I haven't yet tried it on. I really hope that it's gonna look good with the way this triangle is sitting. The fabric that this yarn makes has a really beautiful drape to it. I have a few like little minor tension issues here just because I've been decreasing or increasing so fast, but I think that blocking or even just like a big stretch will solve that. I didn't end up doing triangle increases for the entire circumference of the body. I did it for the front of the body and I then did a cast on for the back half of the body. So the back is gonna look completely straight, but I've done a few different like rates of increasing here to hopefully transition the triangle to the straight edge quite nicely. And I'm still on my first ball of yarn, but it's getting to that point where you can see that it's going to run out soon. Actually, I'll make some more progress on this while I tell you a bit about how I've been feeling. I've had a really transitional year, to say the least. And change like isn't always very fun, right? Like growth sometimes really hurts, and I think I was a little bit in denial about how much this like whole moving to Berlin to go to university and then moving back home affected me. And looking back at the 2 months I spent here at home in the summer, I was pretty down. I don't want to use the word depressed because I had depression when I was a teenager and this certainly wasn't that, but I wasn't like really happy. And I really threw myself into making YouTube videos in those 2 months. I was like all I thought about from when I woke up to when I went to bed, but I don't think it was really like well reflected in the content I was making. I think I was making a lot of content for just having something to do and wanting to put out something every week, but I'm a lot happier with what I'm making now that I'm making less. Like I think I just like making vlogs. I don't think that making lots of sit down videos is for me. Like looking back at my channel, like 75% of my videos were sit down chatting videos, and I want that to be more, maybe like 25%, because that's what I like watching. And I also stumble over my words so much that it takes me a really long time to edit sit down videos. But I think because I was in such a negative headspace over the summer here, I really had a lot of dread about returning back here after being in Sri Lanka for a few months. Even though like my problems followed me to Sri Lanka, I still wasn't extremely happy. At least for the first month that I was there, I was still dealing with like the knockback from like having my plans of moving to Berlin sort of be thrown out the window. And I guess for a bit of context, I moved back here to my hometown, or rather home village, and to my parents' house 2.5 years ago from Glasgow, where I lived alone and I was surrounded by friends, because mainly I wanted to save up money to move to Berlin. That had been in the works since January 2020, and I'd always known that to be able to carry out that plan I had to save up a load of money for a student visa. So I moved back here. It was always going to be a temporary stay, and because I knew it was going to be temporary, because it's my hometown and, you know, like I grew up here, I went to school with a lot of people here, and I also had to be in Glasgow for work like 2 to 3 times a week, plus I would go to Glasgow on the weekends. I never bothered having any sort of routine or community here in my hometown. I was happy having my community be in Glasgow and getting like all my social needs fulfilled, all of my like, you know, going out and about and socializing and exercise needs fulfilled in Glasgow too, and just having the days that I spent at home be days that I spend with my family and in nature. And that setup works really well for me until I came back from Berlin. I no longer had that job that made me go to Glasgow so often. My circle of friends in Glasgow had decreased over time and I hadn't replenished them. And I started feeling really stuck and trapped here. Like I was an extrovert that was living the life of an introvert, and it made me miserable. I just had nothing to do all day. Like my life was just fully at home. But right now in the past week, I'm starting to realize, and it's silly that it even took me over 2 months to realize this, but like there is so much going on in a small town if you look for it. Even though I still don't feel like I'm going to be here like long term, and I still don't want to really try and make a community here, because something's telling me that I'm not going to be here long term anyway, even though I don't know where I will be. But there is still so much that I can do that is really beneficial to my mood. And one of the biggest things I did this past week was make the trip to the gym and the swimming pool in the next town over, which is something that I should have done so long ago. It's the swimming pool where I learned to swim when I was like 3 years old, and in my head that is just like somewhere from the past. It's not somewhere that I can utilize now. But they've renovated it, it's got a sauna in there now, and in my head it's just like so far away because it's in the next town over. But in reality, when I was in Glasgow, my gym that I went to was a 45 or 50 minute walk away, and this is like maybe an hour walk. And if I want to get a bus there, it takes exactly the same amount of time as it would have taken for me to get to my old gym in Glasgow by public transport. So it really is like a mental block thing with like rediscovering places that I only like remember vaguely from when I was a kid, but also discovering stuff that like I just never knew that was going on because I've never been an adult in this place before. Like something that I would do really frequently when I was living in Glasgow, or even when I was living in Berlin, or when I was in Sri Lanka, is go to a cafe for a few hours and study or knit or like read a book or something. I've never once done that here. So that's my goal for next week, is just break down this mental block that I have. Like next week my calendar was completely empty, and now I'm filling it in with like, I'm gonna go swimming on this day, I'm gonna go to a yoga class, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go to the cinema, I'm gonna go study in a cafe, and it makes my week seem so much more exciting, and like I have something to look forward to, which I think if you have my lifestyle of working from home and studying from home, which is a beautiful, wonderful gift, right? Because it allows me to travel, which is amazing, like such a privilege. But I also am realizing that when I'm not traveling, these are the things that I need to be implementing to keep myself sane, especially now in like the deep, dark depths of the winter. I always feel extremely self-indulgent with these little non-knitting chats. But yeah, that's my little diary entry for today. Oh, guys, I'm feeling so much better. Literally, all I needed to do was exercise and like go to a yoga class, say hi to everyone in the yoga class, go to a cafe, say hi to everyone in the cafe, and make the trip to Glasgow to see my friends. And I feel mentally whole again. Also, I think just seeing my friends and talking to them about their lives puts my life into perspective so much, because none of us are like in the married house children lane yet. We're all like still figuring things out, all feeling a little bit lost, all not knowing like job wise, career wise, what we want to do, where we want to live. And I had such a nice conversation with my friend yesterday where basically the conclusion we came to is like, we're in it for the ride. Like, we are so lucky to not have to be stuck doing one thing. We're so lucky that we have any amount of choice and freedom to do what we want to. And it's like, it's almost like our responsibility to have as much fun as we can, like while we can. And that's an outlook on life that like I learned in therapy. It's what this tattoo means, actually. And I just forgot about it for a bit. But we're so back. I know that the winter affects a lot of us in ways similar to this. So I hope if you're going through something similar that you're able to find a little full circle moment as well. I am just casting off. What am I doing? I'm not casting off. I'm putting my stitches on hold so that I can try this on and see where I've got to. I have finished, I think, doing my decreases. So I've now got like significant negative ease, and hopefully this is the length of the underbust. So I'll finish doing this and I'll show you what it looks like. Here it is on. I'm thinking it's good. I am hoping, yes. I think it is everything that I envisioned. My main thoughts are, number one, I am still really hoping that this hem will block out to be a little bit less tight. I'm wondering if maybe I should have done my increases like slightly less fast so that the fabric has more room to breathe, but I'm really trusting that it's going to block. I'm also kind of scared, like I could do like a block right now and find out, but I'm scared. Like I want to know and I also don't want to know. But it's not super bad. I think it'll be fine. Also, the knitted cast on at the back is seriously rolling up, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm thinking probably just an I-cord hem around the entire like bottom hem will have to be the solution to that. It's not coming across as extremely fitted, even though it's got loads of negative ease, but I learned from version 1 that if you're just trying something on some scrap yarn and you've not yet cast it off, it is going to come across as a lot looser, like casting it off really tightens it up. Okay, this bowl of yarns just fell apart. And my next stage is going to be doing some bust increases and decreases. I researched this for a while because there's two types of bust increase and decrease. There's horizontal, which is done by putting in some extra short rows along the front, and there's vertical, which are also just done the same as like waist decreases basically. and didn't really know the difference between the two. I didn't even know about the whole short rows thing, but I think that from what I can tell from the internet, vertical bust shaping is better for fitted garments. So I'm gonna be attempting that. I think I'm gonna stick with the same amount of ease as I have for the underbust so that the fabric like looks the same. And yeah, I'm worried about this hem, but other than that, I think it's I'm pretty happy. Maybe I should do a blog, but I want to keep knitting it. I'm also knitting my mum's Christmas sweater. That's what that is here. I love the colour. I think it looks so good with these jeans, isn't it? These jeans are new. I got them from Zara. I don't really shop, no, I don't shop at Zara at all anymore. But I got given a gift card like 6 months ago for Zara, and I've been trying to spend it for ages. I didn't know what to get with it. I saw these jeans and they've got this like cool little belt on the side. They're meant to be mid-waist. I keep noticing that everyone's saying that like low waist and mid waist stuff is trending, and yet it's not actually being sold in any of the shops. Like, I love wearing low waist trousers, but everything that I've bought has been vintage. But yeah, I wore these for the first time yesterday with my new jumper actually. Let me show you this. This was the outfit that I wore to Glasgow yesterday, and I felt really good in it, but it also actually kept me warm. This jumper is from Palome. It is the first new jumper I have bought ever since I started knitting, which honestly felt like cheating, but they gave me a gift card for like £70 and they just said, you know, you can try out something, which was really kind of them. But most of the clothes weren't really my style, so I ended up getting this jumper and putting some of my own money towards it too, and it is just like perfect. I think it's the nicest store-bought jumper I've ever owned. It's a majority alpaca, and I feel okay acquiring a new store-bought jumper because the knit of this is so fine. I think it's probably like a fingering weight and really fluffy, like something that I would never knit myself. And it is so soft. Like, there's a very slight bit of itch that I can feel in the crooks of my arms, but I am very glad that I don't have much of a sensitivity to alpaca because I really do with wool. And this joins the legions of the other 4 store-bought jumpers that I have, which are all also grey. But I like what I like. I like grey stuff. Anyway, back to doing my least favourite activity, which is picking up stitches of scrap yarn. I wish it wasn't necessary, but it is. Progress is going well. I've almost finished my second ball of yarn and I've just done my bust increases. So I spent ages like reading up blog posts about how to do bust increases the most neatly, and I ended up like making a first attempt where I did the increases like right on the side and then undid all of that, and now I've placed the increases sort of a quarter of the way towards the front panel. And I'm not 100% sure about my decision to do only one increase on each side. I don't know if maybe it would have looked better if I'd had like an increase on either side, like doing 4 increases per row, but I haven't tried it on yet. I think it'll look at least okay, and at most really good. I'm now doing some decreases to shape like it coming up to the armpit, and then I'll be like almost done. Because last time the straps I think only took me an hour or 2. I am a little bit concerned about the huge difference in ease between this version and my first version, because I measured my first version and at the armpit I've got negative 11 inches of ease, and it's tight, like it is too tight. But with this one, I'm only going for negative 4 inches, and I don't know if that's going to be too loose. I don't want the ease to just be like so completely variable that it's changing at every single measurement. So I'm going to try it, and if I have to frog it, at least I'll only be frogging back to the point where I'm at now. I might actually, no, I'm not going to put in a lifeline. Yeah, if the top doesn't stay on with this amount of ease, this is the point where I'll be frogging back to. So it's not going to be too much work. I think I only have about 16 rows to go until I'm at the armpit area. I'm so nervous about this, but I'm also really excited, and I think it's all this energy that is just motivating me to knit and knit and knit and knit and knit. This yarn hasn't started hurting my hands at all though. I knitted for ages yesterday. I did all of these bust increases yesterday and my wrists feel fine. So long as my body's telling me to keep going and my mind is, I will be ploughing forward with this. Okay, we are cashing in on this knitting podcast setup while I've got it. I'm so happy. I just got my maths result back for the assignment I just did. I got 91%, and I'm feeling so good about myself and about my course. I want to take that percentage and like mail it to my old professors at that Berlin university, tell them to go suck it, but they probably have already forgotten who I am. Anyway, moving on. I'm not bitter. Maybe I am a bit bitter, but I'll get over it soon. I have finished the front of my top and I haven't yet done the back strap of it. And I was trying it on as I was making it. But this part of the top is going very differently from version number 1 because I have such a bigger ease that I have so many more stitches on my needle. So even though I have done my decreases for the asymmetric bit faster than the first time, this is still sitting a bit too high up. And I was looking at it in the mirror and I was just like, I think this O-ring is too small. Like, it's too small to give the effect that I really want. So I was just like, well, I might as well make this like exactly how I want it, even if it means waiting for a few more days. So I've ordered some bigger O-rings. I don't even know if O-rings are meant to be used as a fashion accessory. I've been buying them off eBay, and the store that I bought the bigger O-ring from the other day was like a store selling like parts for plumbing. Like, I'm not sure if I've actually bought an O-ring or if I've bought like a washer or something. But anyway, I think it looks cool, so whatever, I guess. And because this one's going to be a lot bigger, I'm going to attach it further down, so then that solves the problem of it sitting too high up. That's also the reason I've not done the back panel yet, because I want to wait until the bigger one is attached. Overall, I'm feeling really happy and positive about this. I think it's looking really good so far. I had to do a completely different rate and type of decreases at the top than I did for the rate and type of increases at the bottom because the stitch counts are so different because of the difference of ease. And I really wanted the slant of the top to mimic the bottom, which it wouldn't have done if I'd done anything like remotely the same. It's looking pretty good. It looks at least very good when I'm trying it on. I am also like going back and forth on my decision to do I-cords because potentially I could be doing that while I'm waiting for this O-ring to get delivered. But I don't think I want to, mainly because I-cords are kind of known for like tightening up hems, and I need the opposite, especially for this bottom hem. So I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope that this rolled hem at the back straightens out with blocking. Maybe I should be blocking this. I did block just the front little triangle. I didn't block the back bit, but I kind of want it to be like a big grand reveal at the end, but maybe I'm just setting myself up for disappointment. Who knows? I have really, really high hopes for this. I'm on my final bowl of yarn. This is the last bowl. I've still got most of it left. I probably will have a fair amount left over. I certainly had a bit left over for version 1, so it makes sense that I'll have even more left over for version 2. And I think I'm getting more serious about making a pattern for this because I'm so happy with it. Even like despite all its flaws, like despite this looking a little bit bundled up before I blocked it out, I think that could have been helped by me doing like the final stitches of each row a bit looser. When I was doing these decreases at the top, I made the final stitch of each row so loose. And like it's not perfect. Like, to be fair, you won't see this bit because I'm gonna undo this bit. This bit wasn't done very well, but you can see that the final stitch is big, but like it doesn't look bad, especially not when you're wearing it. Also, when this is on, the bust increases look so good. I want to do bust increases like this for every single fitted top I make. They look so like professional. The top is like perfectly fitted around that area. I'm really happy with how that's turned out. And yeah, I'm gonna save trying it on for you until it's like fully done so we can have like a grand reveal. I've just finished doing this strap for the 3rd time and I was so ready to cast this off and try it on, look in the mirror and be like, yes, I finally did it, woo! No, I'm still not happy with it. I think it's the O-ring. I like the top more than ever. I think that the placement of where the O-ring starts is just right. I think that the width of the strap is just about right. Maybe I could go a little bit thinner on this end, but yeah, it's too big. This is the initial O-ring that I was using. It's like way too small. This was 2.5 centimeters diameter. This one's 4.5 centimeters diameter. So I think I need to go exactly in the middle and buy one that's 3.5 centimeters diameter, and hopefully like that'll be it. I'm so tempted to just leave this detail out because it's been like such a hassle, and I think the back looks really nice without the detail, but I'm so determined to make this detail work. I really want to pull it off. So yeah, I'm gonna buy even more little metal circles to have floating around my room. Okay, so what has happened is that I agonized over which hardware to buy for a few days. I then bought some hardware and it took like, I don't know, like a week to arrive because it's in the run up to Christmas and the mail's a lot slower. So mentally, I have finished this project like ages ago, like 2 weeks ago. I'm done. I'm over it. Physically, I finished it last night and it blocked it. It's still damp. But I think I need to get this done, otherwise I won't. And I'm really happy with how it's turned out, but like this was a November thing for me and it's already like the 10th of December, no, the 11th, the 12th of December. And yeah, I'm ready to move on. I can't even remember like anything that I've said about this project recently, other than like, I know I've overshared my mental state. I went for a little bit of a wild card with the hardware. I still think I need to like change it up a bit, but it's a rectangle, which I think is nicer than a circle because like the strap itself is also a rectangle, but it's not sitting like exactly right all the time. I can like put it in the right place, but it then moves itself. This is what it's meant to look like. I think I could just like super glue the edges and it would stay put, but for now you're gonna have to use your imagination that it's exactly right. But otherwise, this is her. This is the top. The back is blocked out really nicely. It's no longer curling up at all. I love it. I'm so happy with it. Let me show you like my leftovers of yarn and the notes that I wrote. I have a fairly decent amount of my third bowl of yarn left. So this is probably like 2.5 bowls of DK weight. So not that much yarn in total. And this, I finished the entire notebook of notes of how I made this. It's not coherent. Certainly not. This is the notebook that I use. This is a little bit of past lore. I got some qualification in being a business analyst when I was a business analyst. And that's the notebook that this is written in. The details have all turned out really well, apart from the fact that the yarn just doesn't hide anything. So you can see completely somewhere in the back. I mean, maybe not from this far away, where I joined 2 balls of yarn together. I've had to tuck a good few frayed edges onto the inside of the top. But other than that, I think I've done pretty well. And I want to say that I'm proud of myself. I might wear this for New Year's Eve. I think it's that kind of top. I really like how it looks. Sorry, I just keep moving forward and backwards. I really like it with my beloved cargo trousers that you can never tear off me. So that's a good sign that this top goes with my favourite pair of trousers. It also goes with those really nice jeans that I showed you earlier that are in the wash currently. I also think that this would look really good with, I've got a little pleated mini skirt that I wear with knee-high boots. I think, well, everything, isn't it? I mean, it's a grey top. It'd be weird if it didn't go with everything. But, yeah. I think I'm going to write a pattern. Do you want me to write a pattern for this? I kind of want to write a pattern for this. The notes are basically there. I just need to somehow like put the measurements into like an Excel spreadsheet and figure that out. I also don't know anything about pattern writing. People keep using the words tech editor and I don't know what that means. So like, I think I'm going to have to like learn a lot if I want to write a pattern. If you write patterns and you would like to share your knowledge with me, please send me an Instagram DM because I'll probably need it. But yeah, because this is, I just want to like give you a proper close-up, proper 360. Let's get some more like gratuitous shots of it. Okay. I was umming and ahhing like throughout the process of this of whether this would be the final version or if I would need to make a version 3 that is better adapted so that the front part just lays like completely flat. But it has blocked out to be completely flat, and I think this is a less forgiving yarn than a lot of them. I think if this was weighed with any kind of wool blend, this would block out well. I'd also think like in the instructions you can put like knit loosely at the end because that would have solved all of these issues. I also did have to knit quite loosely at the top. I think it would still fit if it was knit less loosely, but I think the stitches might just get a little bit bunched up together. It actually fits really, really well. I was kind of worried because like the second time I did the strap, this is like the fourth time I did the strap. I did the strap so many times, but the second time it was feeling really, really loose. And I think it was just because the strap was too long, but I was really worried about it being the sort of top that like looks good in photos, but no one wants to actually wear because it's falling down all the time and it's uncomfortable. But it's not. Like it's staying on, like it's not slipping down too far on this end at all. And I don't really know how I've managed that, but it seems like measuring your body and measuring your gauge swatch and doing the maths actually does amount to something. I feel so proud of myself for this. I feel like a lot of people wait until they're better knitters than I was, like when I first started doing YouTube. And the fact that I've managed to make this is kind of undoing a lot of the imposter syndrome that I felt. Like, no, I have some skills. Maybe I can admit that I have some skills. Yeah. I think I'm going to wrap this up, otherwise I'm just going to keep begging myself up for another 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. I feel like it's been a bit of a mental health journey for me. I feel like a different person right now than I was when I first started making this top. I also feel like this is maybe a bit of a full circle moment with my YouTube, because one of my first videos I ever made, and like by far the most popular video I've ever made, was a knitting patterns video about going out tops. And here I am with my first ever self-designed going out top. So yeah, I hope you're having a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye!